enforcement agencies. Unquote. On Tuesday, the United States Treasury Department accused the Mohammeds of allegedly evading US $50 million in duty taxes to the Guyana government by allegedly omitting more than 10,000 kilograms of gold from import and export declarations between 2019 and 2023. On that note, the U.S. accused former Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Home Affairs, May Thomas, of using her position to offer benefits to the Mohammeds enterprise and Azruddin, among others, in exchange for cash payments and high-value gifts. On August 19, 2023, Vice President Barra Jagdeo had this to say about the movement of large quantities of gold around Guyana.
When they buy the gold, the police is then paid. The standard practice every year of APNU took place. It didn't happen recently. And they escort the gold down to Georgetown or wherever they're kept. Now, in that, we have to find another safe way of doing this. Because when this happens, there is a coziness that develops between elements in the police and these people.
At that very press conference, Mr. Jagdeo was stern when he addressed what appeared then to be a rift between Guyana's largest gold dealers, Azruddin Mohammed and Tamish Jagmohan. The two had been pointing accusing fingers at each other when it comes to allegedly omitting gold from import and export declarations.
The People's Progressive Party will not condone any illegal act on the part of any of those individuals that I mentioned, or others for that matter. People have to face consequences for their action, whatever their action is.
The Guyana government is now saying that it will continue to work with the United States government on all matters of mutual interest, including the respect for the rule of law. The Treasury Department, though, has named the sanctioned businesses as Mohammed's Enterprise, Hadi's World, and Team Mohammed's Racing Team. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News. The Parliamentary Foreign Affairs Committee convened on Tuesday following a 7-month break, and the hearing resulted in turmoil, with Shadow Foreign Affairs Minister Manza Walton saying the meeting left much to be desired. Find out more from Tiana Cole.
Following the conclusion of the Parliamentary Foreign Affairs Committee meeting on Tuesday, Shadow Minister of Foreign Affairs Manza Walton Desire, in an interview with the press, said that Minister of Foreign Affairs Hugh Todd's attitude in the meeting has left much to be desired.
In summary, Mr. Todd told me that I was crazy. He called me crazy. And then when I called him out on it, he tried to amend it by saying that I was behaving crazy. Completely unacceptable from a sitting minister of government. But in keeping with the attitude that we've seen from this PPPC administration when it comes to its treatment of women in the National Assembly.
Walton Desire said Minister Todd started the meeting by attempting to mislead the sectoral committee on its functions, and she had to remind the minister that in accordance with Standing Order 86, the committee was vested with a far greater range of power than simply just receiving reports from the government.
He didn't appreciate that correction and that clarification. And so for the beginning of the meeting, he was quite belligerent. And it got very heated in there to the degree that a male member from the other side walked over to our side and hit my mic down.
Walton Desire said the opposition is fully supportive of the government, but that does not mean they will go along blindly with what the government says. However, in dealing with the critical issues, she added that the committee was able to deliberate on the border controversy, among other important issues. Meanwhile, Minister Todd, when asked about the meeting, said it was very productive and that he was able to update the committee on several issues in relation to the Guyana-Venezuela border issue, migrants in Guyana, and the movements of the diplomatic front. Todd said he was also able to provide guidance on the function of the committee, which according to him is to give advice.
This committee is to advise. This committee has not been set up to direct the president on foreign policy. The president sets the foreign policy agenda for this country. The foreign ministry, which I am happy to lead, deals with the implementation of that agenda. And I had to make it very clear.
Todd added that his ministry is actively pursuing the issues at hand at the level of the executive.
If there are many activities going on, we are engaged. The foreign minister is engaged. So I have been engaged in many activities dealing with those I should say incursions, and I'd like to say violation of our sovereignty and territorial integrity. I'm engaged in that with the executive. That is where I'm supposed to be.
Tianako reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
You will hear now that the Guyana Defense Force on Tuesday commissioned the GDF's Shahood, which will enhance the country's defense capacity against imminent threats. Antonio Day reports.
On Tuesday, while commissioning the Guyana Defense Force's marine vessel, Shahood, President Irfan Ali stated that the vessel will ably support the country's defenses against any external threats, even as Guyana is working towards enhancing its diplomacy.
We recognize that these diplomatic endeavors must be complemented by a robust and responsive defense capability. While we maintain strong diplomatic ties and seek peaceful resolutions to conflicts, we must also be prepared to take decisive action to protect our sovereignty and territorial integrity, and be prepared in conjunction with our partners and their capability.
Notably, the vessel was commissioned in memory of Colonel Michael Shahood, who, along with 4 other servicemen, perished in a tragic helicopter crash last year in Arau Region 7. The Commander-in-Chief noted that the nation's security strategy does not hinge on the support of external forces alone. According to the President, although Guyana has regional and international partners, the country remains cognizant that its defense is its responsibility. United States Ambassador to Guyana, Nicole Theriot, announced that the U.S. government has announced $1 million for the maintenance of the GDFS.
Metal Shark, the U.S.-based manufacturer, will also work with the GDF Coast Guard to operationalize this strategic asset. And the company will continue to play a supporting role in the growth and modernization of Guyana's Coast Guard. We just recently approved approximately $1 million for the sustainment of the Coast Guard's other vessels, as well as U.S. Coast Guard provided training for Guyana.
Meanwhile, GDF's Chief of Staff Omar Khan, who was present at the commissioning, reinforced Guyana's ability to be prepared in the advent of any eventualities.
Guyana has fully embraced its position as a petrostate, and in so doing, it is imperative that the process of enhancing its defense and security architecture, making way to streamline, reorganize, and appropriately resource the Guyana Defense Force. The Guyana Defense Force Coast Guard is the beneficiary of this process.
Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Thank you, Antonio. Senior counsel and member of the People's National Congress Reform, Rosedale Ford, who is also vying for the party's top position, believes that the PNCR must fully mobilize in order to properly represent the people of Guyana. Daisy Richards is on this story.
The party, I believe, at this stage of its history, has never been weaker, has never been more disorganized. We face serious challenges in terms of our representation, our ability to be on the ground.
That was Senior Counsel Rosedale Ford, who is also a contender for the People's National Congress Reform's top position. Ford acknowledged that there are burdensome issues affecting the ordinary Guyanese, and as such, the opposition must be in one accord in order to frontally address these challenges.
I believe that the opposition need to do more work in the communities, be on the ground, be involved, be more policy-driven, and be able to articulate a better future for the Guyanese people.
Ford alluded to the fact that to a larger extent, there is some amount of disunity in the party, and therefore believes believes it is not in a position to hold the People's Progressive Party civic government accountable.
The party is completely and largely divided in terms of the respective regions. There are polarizing groups across almost every strength and almost every area of the party support base. Over the past 2 years, no work has been done on the front of reconciliation.
He believes that the PNCR needs new leadership, the reason he has decided to run for the position. For HGP Nightly News, I am Dacia Richards.
Thank you, Dacia. Stay with us. There is more news ahead.
Transitions Light Intelligent Lenses. Pick your color. Choose your style. Available at Optique Vision Care.
Welcome to SNL Electrical Inc., where lighting and electrical needs are met with expertise and style. From the latest in electrical lamps to durable cables, circuit breakers, panels, we have it all. Illuminate your space with our elegant chandeliers, stunning crystal lights, and versatile pole lights. Looking to upgrade your comfort? Explore top-of-the-line AC units and our diverse selections of stylish styles. Visit us at 170-180 Thomas Street, Kitty, Georgetown. Discover a solution that not only lights up your world but transforms it. Call us on telephone number 226-3018 or 223-1634. SNL Electrical Inc., powering your life with elegance, quality, and care.
Krishna Rock Establishment. No job is too small or too large. We specialize in all types of fabricating, machinery, excavator repairs, rice fill pumps, and hydraulic hoses. Visit us at Lot 113, Block CC Monrepo, East Coast, Demerara, or call 220-9624, 616-9416, or 619-7880. At Krishna Rock Establishment, no job is too small or too large.
Say goodbye to germs with a free Sterling Super Soap automatic dispenser. That's right, get free equipment and installation of our touch-free dispenser. The perfect amount of soap every time ensures clean and germ-free hands. Refilling is quick and easy with 4 amazing fragrances: coconut, sunflower sunrise, pink blossom, and citrus zest. Call us on 265-7403.
Welcome back to the HGP Nightly News. You need to know that the Guyana Power and Light is yet to operationalize all 17 generating sets at the Columbia plant. Minister within the Ministry of Public Works and the Power Company's Executive Management Committee head have conflicting deadlines as it relates to the exact date when the sets will be operating at full capacity. Carice Gonzalez is on this story.
The Guyana Power and Light Incorporated Executive Management Committee head, Kesh Nanal, had set a May 31 deadline for the Columbia plant to be fully operational. Nanal said all 17 generator sets, which were expected to provide some 28.5 megawatts of power, were expected to be installed, is yet to be materialized. 15 of the 17 generator sets are currently generating 20.8 megawatts, and Minister within the Ministry of Public Works, Deodat Indar, during an exclusive interview with 90 News, contradicted Nanlal's statement, saying the 2 remaining engines are yet to be commissioned.
15 are on bars, meaning they're producing power to the grid. The 16th engine is on standby and can be placed on bars, but they have to do some They have to do some work there to incorporate the 16th engine. The 17th engine, from my understanding, has not been fully commissioned as yet. Fuel tanks as well has not been commissioned as yet. They're not completed as yet. That is the status on the Columbia substation.
However, during the 16th meeting of the Sectorial Committee on Economic Services, NANLA mentioned that out of the 209 megawatts available on the Demerara-Berbice interconnected system, 2 engines at the Kingston plant are currently not functioning. He had set a May 31 deadline for the completion. In contrast, Minister Indar reiterated in a separate statement that the deadline is by the end of June, as the engines are not yet operational and require fixes.
The 2 engines that went down when we had the problem, one of them should be back up already, right? The other one, the crankshaft issues, the crankshaft has not yet been received in the country. The other engine, which was down because of the bearing issue, that engine is about 95% completed. One of them, with the main bearing problem, that one should be up in another few days, and the other one, with the crankshaft, that damage, we have not yet received the crankshaft in country. A crankshaft is something that you don't really get easily for these old engines.
However, when the first of the 2 engines at the Kingston plant is operationalized, some 20 megawatts will be added to the national grid. I am Carice Gonzalez reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Thank you, Carice. Meanwhile, can GPL's more than 200,000 customers expect some relief from the frequent blackouts? Antonio Day tells us that the power company recently indicated that it will soon be able to generate some 265.1 megawatts of electricity to meet its peak demand of 232.2 megawatts.
Nightly News last month reported that the Demerara-Berbice interconnected system currently has an available capacity of 209.4 megawatts, and the highest peak demand recorded for the year so far was 183 megawatts as of May 7, 2024. This was revealed on May 22, 2024, when GPL's top brass was summoned by the 16th meeting of the Sectorial Committee on Economic Services. However, according to GPL's performance report, peak demand for 2023 reached 186.4 megawatts, while available generation capacity stood at 186.3 megawatts. According to the performance report, by the end of July 2024, the 5.5 megawatt generation unit at Kingston DP2 will return to service and will further increase the output to approximately 229.9 megawatts. The report also cited that at the end of 2025, it is expected that the DBIS will meet a 300 megawatt output. Nandalal had told the sectorial committee further that out of the 209 megawatts available on the Demerara-Berbice interconnected system, there are 2 engines at the Kingston plant that are currently down. He emphasized that plans are also in place to repair these engines, and once repairs are completed, it will enhance the overall power supply and stability of the system.
By the end of May or so, we would have completed one of the units at Kingston, and that will add 6.9 megawatts, which will take us to 224.4 megawatts available.
Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
In a significant move, the Ministry of Health took concrete steps to address the long-standing issue of hepatitis C countrywide with the launch of a national hepatitis C roadmap. Carice Gonzalez reports.
The Ministry of Health on Wednesday launched its national hepatitis C guidelines at the ministry's Brickdam location. Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony, during the launch, pointed out that despite the challenges associated with cost for medication, the ministry has received noteworthy support from the Pan American Health Organization, PAHO, and is now available to supply medications and treat patients in a timely manner.
We have been able to source them, I think, for somewhere at $127 US dollars per patient. So it is now much more affordable, and we thought that this was important enough For the patients that we have identified,
Dr. Anthony emphasized that a substantial number of patients have been enrolled in the program and most have already received the treatment. There is a backlog of 280 suspected cases of hepatitis C. The ministry prioritized testing, diagnosis, and treatment with a focus on resolving the backlog. Notably, over 35 confirmed cases of hepatitis C had already been identified. To ensure the number is contained, the ministry launched a national hepatitis clinic at the National Care and Treatment Center in Georgetown, which provided specialized care and treatment for patients affected by this disease. I am Carice Gonzalez reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
This is the HGP Nightly News. Stay with us. There is more news ahead.
Planning a cleanup? We can help. Sevon's Waste Management skip bins can be provided for home renovation projects, yard cleanup, or construction project. It's simple. Step 1, give us a call. Step 2, we put down the bin. Step 3, load it up with all of your junk. Step 4, we take it away. That's simple. Bins are also available in various sizes, so there is no job that is too big or too small. Call Sevon's Waste Management today at 218-1455.
Number 1 world famous astrologer and psychic, Astro Pandit Ishwar. Astrology prediction is God's gift, passed down from generation to generation. He is specialized in the removal of black magic, negative energy, bad luck, voodoo, evil spirits, your worries, and here, special guidance for broken relationships, husband and wife disputes. Expert in bringing back loved ones,
business problems, sexual problems, children's problems, family problems, health problems, domestic problems, and many more. 100% warranted result. All matters private and confidential. Call or WhatsApp now for book on appointment. And all religions are welcome.
Crispy, creamy, what a catch. So tasty. What a catch. With a caramel center. What a catch. And so much chocolate. Ooh, yeah. First it's crispy, then it's creamy. With so much chocolate, smooth and milky. And when you go a little deeper, you find caramel. Ooh, yeah. What a catch. Oh, what a catch. You know we love you. What a catch. Oh. First it's crispy, then it's creamy. What a catch.
Smart Minds Educational Institute, offering preschool, nursery, and primary levels. Finally, a school that is every parent's dream. Located at 69 Crow Street, offering academic excellence, trained qualified teachers, small class sizes, personalized care, and one-to-one attention for your little ones. So if your child is for preschool, nursery, or primary level, come to Smart Mind, located at 69 Street, or call 231-4885 or 600-9229 to enroll now.
Welcome back to the HGP Nightly News. Earlier on Wednesday, the National Parent-Teacher Association in Guyana was officially launched. The association will support parent-teacher associations in tackling challenges within their institutions. Daisy Richards reports.
The National Parent-Teacher Association Guyana, PTAG, was launched on Wednesday. It seeks to support parent-teacher bodies nationwide from nursery to secondary while uniting regional and sub-regional groups. President of the PTAG, Michelle Fraser, highlighted that the idea was to deviate from norms associated with PTA bodies and expand its scope through supporting struggling students and parents.
I learned the true potential for the scope of the PTA and witnessed the effects of supporting parents, teachers, and students. The COVID-19 pandemic underscored the critical importance of a strong parent-teacher participation.
She highlighted that as a parent who lived through the experiences of the COVID-19 pandemic, PTAs within her children's schools were a lifeline that provided support and resources to communities. After being established in July of 2021, the PTAG president highlighted that the body is prepared to engage every school PTA across Guyana.
This launch is the start of our work. It's going to be a long road because there are many PTAs out there, and we have to engage all of them. It will begin at the regional level and then peter down to the individual level.
The National Parent-Teacher Association Guyana has set out to review systems, empower members, and help with children's welfare. They have also vowed to work with the Ministry of Education and other stakeholders to shape educational outcomes. For HGP Nightly News, I am Daisy Richards.
Thank you, Decio. The Local Employment Readiness Program, geared at targeting students who have successfully completed their secondary education, continues to benefit from ExxonMobil. Hear more from Antonio Day.
In its annual 2023 annual report, the oil conglomerate highlighted that it partnered with specialists in sustained youth development and research to bring for the 6th year a job readiness summer camp to Guyanese youths exiting secondary school. ExxonMobil Guyana Limited, EMGL, deemed the program successful as last year it expanded to Region 9, Upper Takatu, Upper Essequibo. The company said that 242 youths from Regions 2, 3, 4, 6, 9, and 10 benefited through training and links to livelihood opportunities. Exxon highlighted that the Greater Guyana Initiative commissioned a study which found that approximately 50,000 additional skilled workers will be needed across 5 sectors between 2023 and 2028. According to EMGL, the study provided cross-cutting recommendations for key stakeholders in government, industry, and donor community to enhance and strengthen labor market outcomes and lay the foundation for effective interventions at the sector level. The results of the survey were disseminated to participating stakeholders in December 2023. With over 6,200 Guyanese workers supporting the activities of EMGL and its contractors by the end of 2023, Guyanese represented nearly 2/3 of the company's overall workforce supporting oil and gas activities in Guyana. Also in its annual report, EMGL noted that in 2022, the accumulated profit was $29.4 trillion. While the total comprehensive income for the year 2022 was $577.7 trillion. Antonio D. reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
To end our lead stories, while the Labour Ministry would have received some 912 complaints from employees in 2023 and 32 matters were filed in the Georgetown Magistrates Courts, a revised Labour Act will see stiffer penalties for violators. Find out more from Tiana Cole.
For the period 2023, a total of 912 complaints from employees were lodged at the Ministry of Labour, and of that figure, only 32 matters were filed at the Georgetown Magistrates Court. Of the 32 matters, most of the cases were resolved, and a few still pending. However, while most workplace fatalities occur in the mining and construction sectors, according to a source, for the period 2023, no mining or construction companies were taken before the courts. Just recently, Minister of Labour Joseph Hamilton disclosed that his ministry is working in tandem with the Attorney General's Chamber to conduct a revision of the health and safety legislation, the Labour Act, and a consolidation of labour rules and regulations. According to the minister, one of the main issues with the labour laws at the moment is how ineffective and meagre the penalties set forth for violators are.
So in the new recommendations, we need to have robust fines that will really cause people to stand up and think. Right now, it is not so.
While the law permits investigations and recommendations for individuals to be brought before courts, the minister asserted that the fines are insignificant.
There's a recognition that the OSH Act, as presently set out, is not adequate enough to deal with it. New circumstances in Guyana.
Additionally, the minister added that specific occupational safety and health OSH legislation will be developed to deal with the oil and gas sector.
Because our legislation at the moment did not contemplate oil and gas. Did not at all. So we have to have special legislation to deal with oil and gas. So all of that is a work in progress.
He added that he hopes all this will be dealt with before the end of the year. The OSH Act was passed in Parliament in 1997 and was brought into force in 1999. It is a primary legislation governing workplace safety and health. The Act, which provides for the registration and regulation of industrial establishments in Guyana, serves to protect workers against safety and health hazards in the workplace. It applies to every industrial establishment such as factory, shop, office, or work sites. Tiana reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Thank you, Tiana. Stay tuned. Your regional news is up next.
Hi, my name is Keisha Davis. First of 4 siblings. I'm a mom of 3 and I'm an auditor.
My brother Tariq is a transgender man, which means he was born female but now lives as a man. He's always known himself to be.
He's great at math. I'm horrible. And he actually helps my 12-year-old daughter with her math. As soon as he gets home at night, he'll say, Jazz, let's go. What would you like me to help you with? She actually got a prize in school for full score at math and English. Tariq is my rock. Like, honestly, my confidant. No matter what it is, no matter how horrible it might look through others' eyes, he doesn't judge. And he is there to support me, to support my kids. I don't know if I would do that.
All the big bands, all the big names from all around the world. The return of the biggest chutney show, Clash of the Titans, June 22nd, the Guyana National Stadium, the ICC Cricket T20 World Cup weekend. This is Clash of the Titans. One big stage, one big night, over 7 big bands, over 40 artists performing June 22nd, the Guyana National Stadium. This is Clash of the Titans.
Guyana, August 1st, 2024, all roads lead to the National Park as the African Cultural and Development Association, ACTA, hosts its 31st annual Emancipation Festival, Guyana's biggest cultural festival. Come celebrate our collective African heritage with African food, dance, fashion, history, storytelling, sports, and much more. Gates open at 10 a.m. sharp. Come, let's celebrate our resilient African essence. Harambe, we all hold together.
right into the vibrant heart of Guyana with HGPTV's freshest series, Inside Culture. Dive deep into the pulsating core of our spirited nation as we unravel the captivating stories embedded in our arts, music, sports, and beyond. A journey to nurture your soul and celebrate our rich heritage. Join us on HGPTV, where Inside Culture brings you closer to the heart and soul of Guyana, airing Wednesdays at 7:30 p.m. and rebroadcasting on Sundays.
Good evening and welcome to Wednesday's edition of the Regional News. We begin with news from Brazil. The Director General of Brazil's Federal Police said that 3 ongoing probes into far-right former President Jair Bolsonaro are expected to conclude by next month, the final step before deciding whether to formally accuse him of crimes. Bolsonaro, who governed from 2019 to 2022, has faced mounting legal jeopardy since he left office after narrowly losing the 2022 presidential election to leftist President Luiz Lula da Silva. The 3 ongoing police probes focus on allegations that he and his associates pawned jewelry given to his administration by the Saudi government, tampered with vaccination records, and plotted a coup to overturn the 2022 election results. We tell you now that Haiti's administration picked new ministers on Tuesday, rounding out the new prime minister's cabinet, in a stark departure from the previous government as the country battles a deep humanitarian crisis fueled by armed gangs. The cabinet announced nearly 2 weeks after Prime Minister Gary Conille himself was named to his post, trims the number of ministers while replacing all who served in former Prime Minister Ariel Henry's cabinet. Many of the new picks were drawn from outside Haiti's political class altogether. Haiti's prolonged social and political crisis has deepened since a presidential assassination in 2021, threw the cabinet nation into upheaval. And now for some international news. Swiss commodities trader Gunvor has paid Ecuador $93.6 million in an agreement reached over a corruption case, and the funds have been credited to the country's treasury. The company pleaded guilty in a U.S. court in March to violating corruption laws and paying Ecuadorian officials bribes from 2012 to 2020 to ensure business with state-run oil company Petroecuador. In a March statement on its website, the company said that up to half of $374 million fine agreed with the U.S. Department of Justice would be credited against related claims in Switzerland and Ecuador. I am Carice Gonzalez. Thank you for watching.
Government opens probe against the Mohammeds. Local police called in. Major turmoil between government and opposition during Parliamentary Foreign Affairs Committee sitting. Roysdale Ford intends to unite PNCR as he contends for party's top leadership position. And National Parent-Teacher Association launched. Those are our major headlines. For these stories and more, please go to our website. It's www.hgptv.com. I'm Travis Chase. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.
In honoring or paying tribute to a loved one, or just making a loved one feel special, HGPTV offers you all that and more. Air your birthday greetings, death announcements, and wedding anniversaries on HGPTV today. HGPTV offers affordable prices, convenience, and great services. Call us on 220-3660 or email us at sales@hgptv.com.